Today on Hot Thai Kitchen, we are making papaya salad or som tam. สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome to Hot Thai Kitchen. Today we're taking a trip to Isan or northeastern Thailand, and we're making one of their staple dishes, green papaya salad. In the Central dialect, we call it som tam. In Isan dialect, which is where my mom comes from, we call it tam som, or in certain areas we call it tam bak hung. Okay, so let's get started. First, we have the green papaya. Now, the way you deal with this is, now what we want eventually is shreds. 2 cups of shredded green papaya like this. Now, how you get to that point, so I'm going to show you. First, just take a good peeler and just peel the whole thing. Now, to get the shreds, you could use a julienne peeler like this, which would be easier and faster. You can get this at Asian stores. Don't use the Western julienne peelers because these actually make really, really fine shreds and that won't work here. But all you really need is a knife. So here's how we do it old school. You take a knife, you hold the papaya, and then you're just gonna make a whole bunch of incisions down the papaya. Just like this. And make sure you go deep enough and watch your fingers, obviously. Then you can do it one area at a time, or you can do the whole thing. It's up to you. Now, when you feel confident that you've got the, enough incisions to make juliennes, what you're going to do is you're going to take your knife and just shave it off like this. And then what you end up with is nice little juliennes like that. And you just repeat. Once you've taken out the first layer, do the chop, chop, chop again, because otherwise you just get a big sheet of papaya. And then what you have is beautiful shreds, just like that. Alright, so let's get started. So this is what we're using, our clay mortar and pestle with a wooden pestle. And this is made specifically for making papaya salad. It's a light duty one, so it's not going to crush and grind, say, things like curry paste. But it's great for this, and it's larger. Let's start first with some garlic and chilies. So I've got 3 small cloves of garlic and 2 Thai chilies. And then we're just going to start pounding. When you're pounding chilies at first, don't look at it, because if you look at it, it will jump into your eyes. This happened to me before. Once it's kind of gotten going, then you can look at it. But in the beginning is where it likes to shoot at you. So when it's it's all mushed up, but not liquefied, what you don't want is big chunks of garlic or chili. Once that's done, we're gonna go in with dried shrimp. I've got a tablespoon and a half of small dried shrimp. If you've got big ones, you can rough chop it a little bit. They're like shrimp jerky. Gives a lot of umami flavor. And just adds that nice savoriness to the dish. Just roughly so the shrimp are broken down a little bit. And then we're gonna go in with the rough vegetables. So things go in order of roughness. So the delicate things will go in last, the rougher things will go in first. This is 5 long beans or string beans. Long beans and string beans look like this. They're very long. And if you can't find this, you can also use French green beans. They're about the same width, and they also taste very good. So that goes in. A 1/4 cup of roasted peanuts. I'm going to save a few for garnish at the end. So we're just going to break up the string beans so that they can then absorb the dressing better. And also roughly breaking the peanuts. Some of the broken peanuts will become a part of the body of the dressing. Okay, so that's what you're looking for. When that's done, we're going to go in with dressing ingredients. Okay, so dressing, we've got first acid. We've got about half a juicy lime that I'm going to, this will be an equivalent of about 2 tablespoons of lime juice. Let's just squeeze it in. And then when you're done squeezing, throw in everything. The zest contains a lot of the aromatic oil, and it'll add extra flavor. You're obviously not going to eat it, but when you're pounding everything with it, adds nice flavor to it. Okay, so that's that. And then, now lime juice has a very sharp acidity. We're going to round out that acidity with another source of acid, tamarind juice. Tamarind juice is a little bit sweeter, a little bit more well-rounded. And it also adds a nice body to the dressing as well. And I also have a tutorial video on how to make your own tamarind juice, so you can take a look at that if you'd like. Okay, so that's our salty. Next is our sweet. We're using 2 tablespoons of palm sugar syrup. Now palm sugar syrup, I made myself, and I keep it in a little jar like this, a little bottle like this, and it's half a cup of chopped palm sugar to 3 tablespoons of water. Now, I make a syrup because this is a cold dish, so it's going to take a long time for the hard puck of palm sugar to melt. So it's easier this way. In Thailand, palm sugar also comes in a sort of like a sticky mud form. So we often use that for papaya salad because it melts more easily, but here I can only find the hard ones. So I have to make a syrup. Okay, so that goes. So that's our sweet. And then our salty. I've got, I think this is a tablespoon and a half of fish sauce. Now just a word about fish sauce. Keep it well sealed in the fridge because it does go off. It won't go bad, as in you won't get sick from it, but the flavor does eventually deteriorate. You should be able to see through the bottle. If it's so dark that you can't see through the bottle, it's old. Okay, now if you stop here, what you've got here is tam Thai, or Thai style papaya salad. Tam means to pound, by the way, that's our cooking technique. But what I'm about to do is add more things and turn it into tam Lao, or a Lao style papaya salad. And they like to add stinky seafood. This is fermented fish paste. So it's basically fish that's been fermented with salt and some rice bran and left to ferment. And it comes in a bottle like this, sometimes in a glass jar. A lot of people home make it at home. It's called plara, or in Lao they call it plade. So that goes in. Adds an interesting saltiness. If you're not using that, up your fish sauce to 2 tablespoons because that is salty. And then just kind of mix it up a little bit. A big spoon comes in handy. Just kind of mix that up. And then I'm also going to add, this is completely optional, some pickled crab. So these are little black crabs that run around in rice patties. So we take them and pickle them in fish sauce, sugar, and sometimes garlic and chili and all that stuff. So it looks like that. This is already broken up. Sometimes you get them whole and you have to crush them up yourself. This one's already broken. So we're just going to add a few. And it's sweet and salty, and the meat has been fermented so much that it's actually soft enough you can just suck it out of the legs like a straw. Just that much, not too much. Not too much. Okay, so to that I'm going to add our papaya and 3/4 of a cup of, I've got cherry tomato halves. You can use big tomatoes and you slice them up to you, whatever tomatoes will work. And then here's the pounding technique. If you're right-handed, hold the big spoon in your right hand. Okay, it'll make it easier. The pestle will pound and the spoon will flip the dressing from the bottom to the top. So what you want to do is pound it a few times and then take the spoon and flip the content up. And the bigger the mortar, the easier this is. So mine's just about big enough to do this, but ideally it'll be bigger. When they sell them on the streets, the mortars are massive. And that's it, don't overdo it. Once you see that everything's mixed up, you just stop. Okay, now we're going to plate. Now, this, because of the plara and because of the pickled crab, is specifically called tam po plara. So if you go to Thailand, you can order it like that, tam po plara. Okay, now, you can serve this with sticky rice. You can serve this with Thai-style barbecue chicken. I have videos on how to do both. And the easiest way to plate this is to hold it in your arm like this and just kind of drag it out. That way it doesn't drip all over the place. There we go. And then I'm gonna take all the crab, put it on top just so people know this is tampo. And then our final, a little bit of roasted peanuts that I saved from before. And that's it. This is som tam or tam som or tam bak hung, however, whatever dialect you want to call it. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time for your next delicious Thai meal. And for a full recipe, visit hotthaikitchen.com.